Hey, what's going on? You know, land grabs. That's what's going on. And I'll just give an example. I won't even call it the newest land grab, but you think if a train derails, right, and you get, let's just say, vinyl chloride contamination, and there's smoke and there's fire and there's some fallout. And let's say you contaminate land with fallout from a fire, from a spill from a train. Every year we have what 1,100 train derailments. Okay, they all got chemicals that spill. You just happen to hear about one or two a lot, like the one that just happened in Ohio. Oh, everybody knows about that one. Big news. It's the Chernobyl. It's not even close to the Chernobyl. Matter of fact, it's about this big compared to Chernobyl. It's like 0.001 to a Chernobyl, and Fukushima is a million times a Chernobyl. Where's the real news at? So here's what happens. EPA comes in and we all know the EPA cleans up, right? Well, it used to be, oh, EPA is coming, it's going to be good. Yeah, it's good for you and me, not for the guy who owns the land. And so EPA, they have their own people that determine if it's contaminated in house. Oh, that's contaminated. Oh, you spilled some extra pesticides on your farmland. It's contaminated. Your oil tank for your house fuel leaked. Oh, it's contaminated. Okay. Sure, we have Superfund site. Sure, we have big pesticide spills. What if they use too much pesticide? Accidentally, let's say the molarity was wrong. That happens hundreds and hundreds of times in every state. Okay. And somebody says, your land's contaminated. The train derailed and it's contaminated. Then guess what? The EPA comes in. You don't get the vote on this. You don't get the vote. They say it's contaminated or whatever they feel like saying. Then what do? They come in there, they perform a report, they clean it up. You think EPA cleanups are cheap? These people can come in little white suits and helicopters and stuff, and all of a sudden there's $1 million bill, right? Oh, it's not over yet. Now the EPA says, well, that land, must was worth 100 grand, but now we cleaned it up. It's worth a mil. It's a mil because it cost 1 million to clean it up. So it's worth 1 million, 100 grand. Oh, by the way, Mister Owner, pay us. You got to pay us for that. That wasn't free. So now this guy's got to pay for this super expensive cleanup from the EPA, who they determine it. And this is okay. Let's think about this: 1,200 train derailments per year in America. Think about the fires, hundreds and hundreds of fires. If fire smoke deposits on your land, A, it could be contaminated with asbestos from trees. Asbestos, it could be from oil, okay? I mean, it could be from diesel fuel. Diesel fuel, right? Oh, I wonder there's something about that too, right? Petroleum, pesticides, water pollution, radiation, PCBs, fire. It's just not the big factories anymore. And so, guess what? Now you can't pay, right? You know what thing's going to happen? You take your land. That's right. The EPA contaminated land grab. Now, that won't hit the news. They're probably doing this to hundreds of places simultaneously all over America. And here's the thing: these land grabs, they come in all different forms, okay? Bill Gates, right? Oh, he's the biggest landowner. And how does Bill Gates get the land? Okay, he buys it. Okay, he doesn't get it like hospitals get eminent domain. He buys it, and then he says, "Well, I'm not going to do anything with it. It's going to be part of the Wildlands Project." Or he's going to do biofuels, which they're going to get into the biofuels because he's going to have all the land. He's going to grow the new fuel, okay, whatever, and the rest of it's going to be buffer zones and no human zones. Now, the other land grabs are they're moving people out of areas that are supposed to be forced. Now, if you look at the Wildlands Project, I did a video on it. Blow your mind, man. 1993, when it was enforced, kind of, they say it's not enforced. It is, okay? And this goes way back to Sierra, back in the 60s and 70s. So this has been going a long time, this Wildlands Project, where they're rewilding America. Well, Bill Clinton started big time where he went to the government land and they owned it and they started doing land grabs too. And they kicked all the loggers off the land. Then they kicked now they've been kicking all the cattle ranchers off the lands. He went and took all the ocean front properties in California, you know, uh, all the riverfronts. Okay. These are all these land grabs. I mean, look at the people down at the Everglades. Thousands of people lost their land because they want to make the Everglades bigger because they're doing rewilding America. And rewilding means you could never go to that land again. No walking, no entering the land. There'll be buffer zones just for certain people. Then there'll be corridors between the cores, they call them cores. And you and me are going to live along the edges of these little teeny stacking packs. You ever notice all the houses they're building? They're 3 stories. There's no elevators. They're very dense populated. They very dense population. They made sure all the bikes were all the bike paths got put in the roads for the last 20 years. They got that under control. And they even had grant money. Hey, you couldn't get money unless you put a bike rack in front of your building or. And so this is all Agenda 21, and it's been morphed in Agenda 2030 and Agenda 50 and the United Nations. And all these people, they think, the conspiracy people, it's about a one world government. No, man. Sure it is. Sure they're going to get rid of money. There's going to be one. That's not the main thing, okay? Well, anyways, this video is talking about they're coming for your land. If you have a gas station, hey, they don't want gas stations anymore, right? You have to have electric stations. So before you know it, all the gas stations are going to be contaminated, and they're going to clean them up. And then the gas station owners are going to have to pay $1 million to clean them up. Remember we went through the gas tank leak stuff back in the 80s and 90s and 2000s? Now they're going to start a whole new phase of them. And once you owe $1 million for a cleanup or 500,000, the land's only, and the gas stations, they're going to tear it down. They're going to take that land. They're going to take it. Gone. It's theirs. Unless you want to pay for it. Now, how are you going to pay $1.5 million for a piece of property that's worth 200 grand? You're not. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And so these are the EPA contaminated land grabs. You don't hear about them. You're not going to hear about this one down in Ohio because it's on the news. The new, what do they call it? The new Chernobyl. Oh my God. Oh, come back. Everything's clean. Sign right here. Sign the waiver right here. Folks, man, you've been bamboozled and you're still getting bamboozled. You have no clue what's going on. This stuff there's so much. Picture a 5,000 piece puzzle, okay? And I'm not on right or left side. I've been doing this for 15, 20 years, 15 years for sure. My TV's been off, This is my hobby. I look this stuff up and I buy books and I know a lot. So guess what? I'm maybe ready for this. I might be on piece 22. I got the little bird up top done and I'm working on the tree bark. Most people are on piece 3. They're still trying to get the clouds together and there's 5,000 pieces. I will never put the puzzle together. It's that complicated. There's that much going on. It's so complicated, so intense. It's mind-boggling. And even if you're awake, it's so because they're doing this. All this stuff is simultaneously going on. Like right now, if you look at all my videos, I got about 900 videos, okay? And I can make another 1,000 videos on different things. And I'll be at maybe puzzle 30. That's how much stuff is going on. And so, yeah, a train wreck. And what happened? Some past president went to visit them. And then who followed them? The EPA. Oh, the EPA's coming. Folks, we're slaves, man. We are slaves. And the EPA is coming to take your land. Hey, thanks for coming on.